So we'll be starting from the Bible this time. And energy goes both ways. And this event right here will be Christianity, represented by a cross, and is mainly united, so unity again. And so the prayer and faith, along with the Bible, those events all go into that. And they draw energy from that as well. And so goes into that, and the events are one. And a lot of people from this area went into that. But that's kind of besides the point. So to get into like why this works, you need to understand quantum mechanics. So quantum energy, whatever you want to call it. And to understand that, we need to understand what it means. So we have this up here, which is going to be binary. So which binary is ones and zeros. But the thing is, with quantum mechanics, the one right here, let's say, this one, can be both a 1 and a 0 at the same time. And so we have quantum. So this is the quantum event, I guess. And it means any of these can be either 1 or 0 at the same time, which is essentially into here energy. And then energy then equals emotion. So through binary, we can understand what quantum mechanics is, because quantum mechanics is when any of these is represented by the opposite by the different number. So any of these can be both a 1 or a 0 all at the same time, which is the nature of energy, because energy is fluent. Energy can go back and forth. Like I said before, we have both positive and negative emotions. So these down here, negative, these are positive. The universe does not differentiate with personal opinion or anything. What energy comes from is either going to be positive or negative. And that's represented over here by the different emotions. We have a big enough picture that we can show that this is like a chain reaction. So because of these things, because of these down here, their chains go into a lot of different events. And that's the way energy can flow. So because energy can flow both back and forth, we have a particular event known as time. Now, time is just getting from point A to point B over a certain period, over a waiting period. But as I will get into towards our power thing right here, we're going to realize that time is an illusion. Because binary up here so binary also is a placebo. So binary is also a placebo. Now why is it a placebo? Well, knowing that energy can be travel both back and forth and can be both in two places at once, basically we get the multiple, like the multiverse theory, the string theory. We get those kind of theories because energy can be in multiple places. But the main thing I want to explain is binary and placebo, because both of those go into why this works as opposed to why it doesn't. So like I said, time is an illusion from point A to point B, but there is no linear structure over here. It's all back and forth all at the same time. Time, the past, present, and future all flow at one point, are all connected through energy. Knowing that, the chain reaction is from specific events which we have labeled. So, and every word is a label. So time is a label. Energy, label, emotion is a label. But they are all also events. And they're events and energy that we put into them. So we'll go over here. We'll just do a bunch of circles. This is a cluster of many millions of people, which equal a singular event. And they are all putting their energy into things like time, into things like Hillary, Trump. They are all putting their energy into these different events. And it expands to all of these, but I'm just being simplistic. And again, the universe does not differentiate between positive or negative. It just puts your energy when you think about these things into the specific thing. So, up here, because time is an illusion, because so many people are putting their energy into the idea of time, it happens because of the placebo effect. Because we all believe that time is an actuality when it's not. The universe is the chain reaction. Time is just one big energy, one big event which has consumed how we think of things. So to put it in a bit more simplistic terms, let's do this. So we're going to make a label, an event, and it's going to be a lock. Now, why is this an event? Why is a lock an event? Well, thinking about it in both the binary, the quantum and the placebo, it would mean that the lock can both be a lock and not a lock at the same time, because it's energy. A lock is energy. Everything in life is energy. So, with everything being energy, why is a lock a lock? Well, because we, as people, we put our energy, we put our thoughts into what a lock is instead of being neutral and biased towards what a lock actually is. But we can't see that because we all perceive the lock as a lock. If you understand that. So because we're biased, we think a lock is, I don't know, it's hard to describe. The lock is most definitely not one because of energy. Because it gives off the same energy as anything else in our world. We could even expand this to being like a fish. All of these are represented by probably the squiggle I mentioned, I brought about in the previous video. They are squiggles because there are so many different people, so many different energies are going into that one word that it cannot be the same thing for everyone. People cannot perceive it as the same thing. So people will perceive rock as something different to their individual personality or whatnot. They will perceive a fish to how they perceive anything else. Everything is energy, but we cannot see that energy until we become unbiased, until we tune ourselves into seeing that energy, which is how we get like the other religions, like Buddhism. I've probably butchered that, but whatever. So, in a sense, the pray and faith energy also goes into here. I don't know if if the Buddhists pray or not, but that energy also goes into that. And it's also a rather unifying energy because they all know what Buddhism is. They all understand that it is this, and so there is no skewing of that thought because the mass of people over here all put their energy into that, and they all think the same thing. So if you have been noticing, all of these are connected to one another in some way, shape, or form. The big thing to take from this is that when we all think the same, like we see the same thing and we think it's the same thing, we can get unity, but through our own personal beliefs, our own personal biases, we can see different things as multiple things because we all consider it something slightly different than some other person, which should not be the case, and we should not have the squiggle. We should have the unity. I'm not saying rock is a straight squiggle, but we have different words for different things. We have different languages, all with different words to represent different things, and so we get a different perspective from every person that puts their energy or thought into a singular object or a singular event. They're all interchangeable, and when we have a word to associate with a object or the event, then people can put their energy into the actual word, which then makes everyone who thinks about that word imagine what everyone else is thinking about that. Because again, energy flows both ways. And this, all of this leads into this, the illusion of our word. So the illusion of our word. All of this is one event which leads into the illusion of our word. Because, like I said, we have time, and time is an illusion, because everyone thinks we live by time, we progress through life, we age, we die, we live by time, and then everyone thinks a rock is a rock when it's energy, or a fish is a fish when it's energy, but we cannot see that it's we cannot see what it actually is because we have a personal bias towards it being a fish. We are seeing what we think it is rather than what it actually is. In the next video, I'll be talking about the illusion of our world. I mean, I did cover a lot of it through this, but we'll be talking about how to get out of it. And if you've been paying attention to what I've been saying over here, you probably already have a good grasp on how we can get out of it. And our world is heavily controlled by a particular emotion. Do we have it over here? No. But that emotion is the particular emotion that our world is currently controlled by is fear. Fear in the unknown, more or less. And we have not been taught this way that I am currently teaching all of you, which I, for one, believe in 100%. I've come to this conclusion through very, I guess, metaphysical ways, but also just personal experiences. And so in the next video, I'll be talking about the illusion of our world and how fear controls it. I mean, this probably isn't 100% correct, but it's probably the most accurate representation of our universe and the world that we currently know. And this is all a singular event that fits into this, the illusion of our world. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe. I will be doing more videos. I will be going into the metaphysical stuff I have mentioned previously, even telling about like how I begun to think like this and so forth, what caused me to start seeing this, and we'll go from there. I mean, I'm probably not going to do a video every day, but maybe every week at least. So that's about it. Enjoy.